Yeah. Alrighty, today is May 18th. It is approximately 3:40 p.m. I'm sitting here with Mr. Throgmorton.
Minutes late.
What's that?
Got caught up by a bus.
Oh, no, that's fine. I was wondering, I figured...
in Indiana Avenue. I'm on foot today, so...
Okay, I couldn't imagine you would miss, so
No,
I was like,
no.
I'm sure he'll be here. But, so I have watched your video.
Just the one?
Just that one so far. I just based on that, I need to speak to some people at City Hall about what was sort of like try to get their side of the history of this before I decide what I'm going to do.
Okay.
But yeah, I can. But so I guess I'm just going to ask if we can reset this a little longer so that I have some time to sit down with some of these people and get their side of what's going on here, because basically I need some explanations based on what I've seen in the video from them.
What exactly is it that you need?
Well, again, I need to hear their side of it, so I can't get it from you what I need. But I do think that the video raises some concerns, and I want to explore those with them.
Did you see the video before that where the officers are actually arriving before me?
Not yet, but all your other videos were short, so I'm happy to take a look at it. Let's see if I can pull it up right now. Server not found. Oh, okay. My computer's little, the thing that I plug the Ethernet cable into is a little bit finicky, so sometimes it goes off. Let's see. Police here manifested. Huh. Well, that's odd.
Let me see.
I'm not seeing. Maybe if I type in report.
If you go...
These ones might be yours, right?
Yeah, if
Okay.
you click on this name,
Yeah. There we
it'll
go.
take you right
Very
to it.
good.
Then you go to videos.
Okay, and which one did you want me to watch? This one?
All right. This is February 5th when I turned in my Freedom of Information Act request.
And this was at City Hall or at the police
Yeah, this is 4 days before
So
I got arrested.
now at that point,
so-
you had never been told not to go
Right.
to City Hall in person, right? Because I have a letter here, and the thing about the letter is that it says February 9th, 2015, but
Yeah.
I think that's a typo because
There's a lot of stuff we
that's
could
a year to
discuss
the
that,
date different from.
might be typos. But
Was there any other documentation you wanted to show me today? Because I will make copies of that if you do. Okay, but you want me to see this Friday, February 21st one?
I mean, based upon relevance, is a lot of this is saying they're saying there's a lot of paraphrasing, basically like based upon my previous actions, but my previous actions are everything that I'm documenting. I mean, my previous actions are I filed a civil complaint against the LaPorte City Police Department, and then when this is February 5th. I filed Freedom of Information Act request with the mayor's office. So
This is at the mayor's. So this is at City Hall.
Yes. At this
Okay.
point, City Hall had not. There was no criminal
Had you been there
trespassing.
before, or for this complaint, or was this the first time you went there?
Yeah,
for
I went
that?
there to
Okay.
see the Human Rights Commission, which is non-existent.
Do they have an office there?
Rebecca McQuaig is supposed to handle it, but she
Okay.
did actually not handle it. I'm the one that filed on my own accord with Indiana Civil Rights. Basically, what I was doing here was asking for basically evidence that they had committed discrimination for public accommodation based upon the,
and
all
the merits of that complaint are neither here nor there for our purposes, except that
the thing
you're supposed to be able to file
you're
it,
telling me
whether
that
or not it has
it's neither
merit.
here nor there for these purposes. But if your colleague the other day told me the burden of proof was on me, and it's not, it's on you. And basically,
Well, in the criminal case, it is, yes.
If this is not the end result of a long process of retaliatory unlawful action. I mean,
Well, and that has to do with whether,
I believe
that has to
that
do with the human rights complaint that you filed.
Rebecca McQuaig has not handled this properly. To be perfectly honest, it seems like they outright say that they're working with each other against me, and then I get caught up in the confusion. I walked into an environment where everybody had the doors locked, but they're supposed to be...
This is on February 9th, you mean?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
And
I saw that in the video.
the officers followed me down there, and they say it was to prevent me from whatever I had planned. But what I had planned was to ask about my Freedom of Information Act request
And to file
that I
a
filed
complaint
4
also,
days
right?
before that.
You were
And I
there?
wanted to speak with the Human Rights Commission because I want to continue my complaint against the police department.
Oh, okay, so this
Now,
is a
somehow
complaint.
I get arrested. I haven't committed a crime, period. Up until this point, I haven't even been accused of a crime. But I've made written complaints against the police department, and all of a sudden I get arrested for, I mean, you've seen the video.
I have.
I'm on the sidewalk, and they tell me that I'm trespassing. Then when I get in the street, they tell me goodbye and everything, and then as soon as I try to walk away and go to the fastest route available, which is where they tell me to go, they tell me that I'm disrupting traffic. But I'm standing next to a stop sign, so I mean, I understand you need to talk to some people, but I'm basically informing you that this is a waste of my time and a waste of my energy, and it prevents me from doing things. Like, if I want to go see like Niagara Falls or something, I can't because I'm out on bond. And this system has my money tied up and nothing I can do with it. So I really honestly would not advise you to work with the people that I'm filing a complaint against, because I'll file it.
I'm not intending, work with them is not the issue. I'm not, they have nothing, they have no standing, I mean, they have nothing to do with.
Who do you need to talk to
Well,
get
I
the side
wanted
of the
to
story
talk to-
for that? Because the only people that are really present are me and the police officers.
Well, I need to
So-
talk to all of the police officers who were there, and I need to speak to also anybody. If you could actually, if you want to give me a list of people who you've dealt with in trying to pursue your complaint, I would want to talk to those people.
All right. On August 12th, it would have been Correctional Officer Greg Domer. The responding officer was Trent Mamaza.
Sorry, it was Greg what?
Domer.
Domer?
D-O-M-M-E-R.
Okay,
He's a correctional officer at the LaPorte County Jail.
got it. And then,
And, basically, he put his hands on me, and then the officers basically told me that since he thought it was okay because he knew me from the jail, that it wasn't battery. It doesn't matter that I don't want to be touched, but the word rude is basically when you're not courteous to other people's feelings. Then Officer
what was the
Mamaza,
next? Okay, Officer Mubanza responded, I got.
he was the officer that came when I called for the police to file
Okay,
a report.
responding officer.
I asked him if I could, basically when he got there, he tried to immediately go to the side of the building where it was dark, and I was on my way to the front of the building where it was
Okay.
well lit. I asked him
And-
if I could be in the lit area and all this.
Basically, what I'm trying to figure out is what basis they had or think they had to be afraid,
me?
I guess, or whatever. No, I'm not talking. That's the basis.
Who-
That's what your complaint is based on.
I
right?
mean,
well, that's what they're
you're-
saying, and so that's what
Right,
I want
that's-
to. I want to understand.
You can go talk to them,
Right.
but
That's what
mean,
I want to do.
They can be afraid that I've filed a civil complaint, because I mean,
I think it would just be, and I think again, actually, this is probably has to do with your disability, that you sometimes people don't understand or misinterpret you for being aggressive when you're really just
I
trying
mean,
to make your point. And so
that's possible, but the thing is there was no reason for these officers to follow me down there. According to the prosecutor's office for LaPorte County, according to the LaPorte City Mayor's office, and according to the LaPorte City Police Department, you guys don't have past reports of me doing anything.
Well, and that's
this
what I'm
is-
trying to ascertain. For,
Well, I'm saying, like,
in order to,
you're
to
talking
proceed.
about going and talking to these
But,
people, but I can give you documentation that can eliminate the need for that conversation, because they can't really argue with this, they sent it to me.
Oh, I would love to make copies of those. I don't think did this come up last time? Because I don't remember.
Yeah,
Did we make copies of that last time?
he was playing politics last time, so, trying to convince me of stuff. But, all right, I sent this, with this notary, to, that's
Okay, I think I
February
had
5th.
seen this,
I turned
okay.
this into the mayor's office February 5th in person. That's the one that's on video.
Okay.
And then this notary was sent to your office.
Okay. Is it the same thing? It looks the same.
Yeah, it's just a
Okay.
different notary.
Oh, okay.
Then your office, John Esbar, says that this letter is to inform you that my office has received your request for information through the Freedom of Information Act. The information you are requesting is not kept by the prosecutor's office. It appears that the agency responsible for having this information would most likely be the LaPorte City Police Department and possibly LaPorte City Hall. Regards, John M. Esbar, 32nd Judicial District.
Okay. And so you were following up on this on February 9th when you went to.
No.
Okay.
The one that was sent to the
Oh, this
LaPorte
is
City
later.
Police
Okay.
Department, and then the one that was sent to the prosecutor's office, I actually had those in my pocket when I was arrested. I was turning them
Okay.
all in succession. Then,
Okay. So you were trying to make a Freedom of Information Act request on February 9th.
I turned one in on February 5th at the mayor's office, and then I attempted to turn one in on February 5th at the police department, and they refused to take it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I've been told to call the FBI on these people, so nothing. I don't understand why they're doing it this way, but they are. Then Rebecca McQuaig, basically acting as the attorney for the city and the city police department, responded to both the LaPorte City Police Department one and the City Hall one
Okay.
twice. She sent me both copies of these.
Well, these look like what you gave them. What?
Yes, but those are copies that she
Okay.
sent me with this piece of paper. No signature, no date, nothing, just an
Okay.
explanation.
I am going
And
to make
this envelope.
copies,
Right. And then
and then I'll be right
the
back.
other day when I came, there's one more.
Okay.
When I came here the other day, not when I met with you and Mr. Price last time, but the time I came right after court.
Right.
to talk to you. I went to.
I remember that. Yeah.
The police department before that and tried to get the same copy of the police report, and they told me I needed a subpoena for the police report, even though it's public records. But they gave me this in an envelope, same exact thing, both
Okay.
copies of the same thing with the same response. So,
Interesting.
and all it says is my name. They
Actually,
told
I'm
me it
gonna,
was
I'm gonna
waiting
make
there.
copies from these ones since they're not
for me.
folded. If that's all right.
That's fine.
Okay.
But,
I'll be right back.
One of them was like, when did I see you that day? That would have been
That would have been probably
the
around noon, maybe.
30th.
That was when we were going to go to. I was about to go to lunch
Or
when
was
we
that
came
the
up here. It was right after court.
April
right?
27th? That's when
Yeah,
I turned.
yeah.
All right, so I submitted this February 5th. They gave it. It just happened to be waiting for me at the police department. This one
Oh, okay.
until I went in there on April 27th. So I mean, they didn't even honor the FOIA stuff. So it was like 10 days.
P6100.
Pretty sure that's a city ordinance.
Okay. We don't enforce those, so I'll have to look it up. I wouldn't know what it says because I don't have any responsibility to prosecute violations of ordinances. But okay, I'm gonna make these copies. I'll be right back.
All right. May want copy these.
Yeah, I haven't seen this before.
Proof that I filed, or trying to file a
Complaint you
complaint.
requested is enclosed. Please.
Now,
believe.
according to-
Please review the information to ensure accuracy.
All right, now here's where this gets complicated, is according to I get that you don't enforce the city ordinances, but
Do you have a copy
according
of
to the city ordinances for the Human Rights Commission, she, what does this say? She was supposed to file this. The legal department may enter into a working relationship with the Indiana Civil Rights Commission, and that would be the term commission attorney shall mean the city attorney. Now, why she didn't file that, I don't know. She does represent the police
Shall mean the
department.
city attorney.
And, all right, this is, I don't know if you can actually make a copy of this, but you can photograph the actual, or Xerox the actual CD. I don't know if that would mess it up.
Shouldn't, but what is it?
But
Audio recording?
I signed a confidentiality waiver to get a copy. That's my complaint against the LaPorte City Police Department.
Okay.
But I can't actually tell you about it, I'm assuming legally, because I signed a, Adam Klimsak, the chief of police, made me sign a confidentiality waiver in order to obtain my statement where I'm making a complaint against the police department. As well as,
Okay.
they told me to come here, and when I tried to come here on both occasions, this woman out here, Vicky Clark, called the police on me because I insisted
You
upon.
mean Lisa?
I don't know. Dark hair, short, kind of, yeah.
That's Lisa.
I don't know. I just assume that was her because that's the name. But she called the police on me twice because I didn't understand why there wasn't a paper trail. Because I mean, I'm making an accusation against.
Right, and she didn't realize that.
And she
basically, I hadn't told her that
me
officer had come up to see me about your initial complaint against the jail
Right.
corrections
Well,
officer.
I'm assuming the police knew because they claim.
Well,
on
if the police who
various
would have come
phone
up
calls
here,
that they
was
sent
it city
all this
police or
paperwork.
was it county?
City police?
Okay.
And then city police responded both times here.
Weird that they would get here quicker than the county police.
I mean,
Since they're in this
it's,
building, but okay.
they are everywhere that I am, conveniently.
Well, okay, so I got some more copies to make here. And now again, the actual, I will Xerox the CD itself just as proof of the fact of the complaint, because again, that's what matters for our purposes, because whether or not a complaint.
Full copy of the confidentiality waiver, I believe, as well.
I'll make a copy of that.
I think you made.
Basically, I and one of my superiors will be
I'm sure
talking
you guys,
to the.
you guys have a copy of this.
You will be
But,
provided a statement.
Yeah. Also, he told me that it didn't matter, but nobody ever told me I was under arrest or read me my Miranda rights. So, as well as I asked for disability accommodation, and that was the sentence that they charged me with disorderly conduct for.
I'm sorry, which I was reading this. I didn't catch that last part.
My disorderly conduct, based upon these interchange and the dialogue between me and the officers, what I actually am charged with disorderly conduct, the sentence that I said to get disorderly conduct was, I need disability accommodation. And that's another thing, is throughout this entire process, I've requested to speak to just about anyone but armed and uniformed police officers. And I have like a 12-year-old diagnosis for post-traumatic stress disorder, and I just don't feel comfortable interacting with police officers. That make me nervous. And
I understand. I mean, they make a lot of people nervous.
But
so.
there should be another option for that, because I've exhausted pretty much all
Well,
avenues.
that's kind of beyond my control.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what is your control is not prosecuting me so that you can sort of get rid of somebody else's mistake.
I'm not in the business of doing that.
I mean, I would hope not.
All right, let me make these copies. Okay. Here are your originals. Okay, is there anything else you want me to have at this point and to review?
I don't think so. I think we've just got it.
Okay,
I have a question though.
I might have an answer.
How come nobody really seemed interested in this until I have to defend myself against charges? Because you're
Not sure I follow.
you're an attorney.
Yes.
I'm assuming you're a knowledgeable attorney because you are an elected official, I believe, correct?
No, I'm hired by the elected prosecutor.
Well,
I
mean,
serve
he
at
has
the
some-
pleasure of the
he has some
elected
faith in you.
prosecutor.
So, are you familiar with Shaw v. State?
I am. In fact, I read it after you came through and mentioned it to me. So
Now,
here are a couple of points. Shaw v. State interprets a statute that's no longer on the books, for one thing.
All right.
And second of all, the issue in Shaw v. State was whether the intent to cause injury was an element, not whether the touching had to be rude and slithering. I mean, and that was a case where a guy stomped a guy's face.
I mean, what
And it
what
was a question
qualifies
of
as
attempted.
injury? Like, this is
that would be bodily injury in the battery statute.
so. All right. What is there a
But,
context where it's legal for a correctional officer to come up to the gas station and touch me? I mean, is
Here's
this
the thing.
something that I
If
should
it's
just
rude, insolent,
accept?
or angry, that would be a battery. But the thing is, he would have to know how you feel about being touched and do it anyway in order for it to qualify. Because it's that's a state of mind element of the crime. You see what I'm saying? That's the mens rea element.
All
is
right,
that it's
and
in a rude, insolent, or angry manner.
he claims to know me from the jail, and you're welcome to go interview officers over there. I'm very much so against touching me. What I'm trying to figure out is I was told when I was in trouble that in the jail, if you don't like it, don't come to jail. If I don't want people to be able to put their hands on me, whatever they want to, not to come to jail. So I don't go to jail no more. And I don't understand how someone that works at the jail can just come up to someone who's walking around, and that gives them the okay. Like, he didn't think it was rude. Well, I think it's rude. Like, I'm rude.
What's up?
Like,
Okay, continue, sorry.
It's like my whole incentive to follow the rules, and like, do the rules just apply to me? Because, like, I've been physically removed from buildings. Like, I had like, I came to talk to someone in your office. Like, I just asked to speak to a victim's advocate, and police surrounded me. That's like intimidation until I left. Like, and I'm filing a complaint against the police department, and nobody has thought that this is strange or coincidental over the past, like, 8-9 months. Like,
I don't have any real knowledge of, I mean, I was aware of the incident at the gas station because they brought it to me and said, is this a bad incident?
and you never thought
I
to
did
talk
not,
to the victim at all, like that, like.
Based on the video, looked like he was trying to be friendly, and that is why I declined to file any charges on that, based on that. And no,
Right. Now,
honestly,
when Corporal
we have,
Iliff put his hands on me, when he responded, that's the first thing he did was come up and put his hand on my arm. Is that battery? Because I called, like, I'm calling the police because someone, you're telling me Domers is excusable. What about the responding officer for the battery charge? Like,
this is the first I've heard of that even
I
happening.
mean, that's what
but-
I'm trying to tell you is
Well, and I'm aware
you can
that
talk to
a
all
lot
these
of the
other
time
people,
when we,
but they're trying to prevent me from getting
as
information
Mr. Price
myself,
explained
so-
last time, our office doesn't do the investigating. That's what the police are supposed to do. We are not
Well,
statutorily,
so-
we don't have the statutory authority to conduct investigations.
When my child's mother keeps my child from me in violation of a court order, the police will tell me that it is not their job to interpret the law. It's their job to enforce the law. But somehow, now that I claim to be the victim
Again,
of the crime,
I don't know the facts of that situation, so I can't really comment on it. I don't know. That doesn't sound correct to me for them to say, I see that you have this court order, but we don't care. That doesn't strike me as an accurate reflection of the law. However, without having the facts, I can't really express an opinion about your specific situation. What I will say is that I'm going to have to run this. Obviously, it's not entirely just my decision, how we're going to proceed going forward. That's going to be up to my superiors as well. But we will be continuing to try to figure out what the best way to go forward is.
Okay.
And I guess,
Have you got the videos from Speedway, and then there's the one from? I'm assuming
I've
there's
not
video